All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. You guys know my name by now. It's Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles, and it's Thursday, and guess what? It is time for the Hot 10 Comics of the Week breakdown, where I take the 10 hottest comics according to the Key Collector app, and I break them down for you guys. But before we get started in the video, like always, I remind you guys and gals, if you're not a current sub of the channel, you guys are definitely missing out on great videos like this. Do yourself a favor, hit that sub button. Smash the like button for me because it does help the channel out. Now, with that said, if you guys don't know by now, I started my own podcast on this channel, also on its own channel called the Mighty Rewind Podcast. Make sure you check it out. With that out of the way, let's get into this week's breakdown. Starting us off this week at number 10 is a new book to this list, Detective Comics number 880, this awesome cover by Jock featuring the Joker. 7 copies and a 9.8 outsold the average this week with a high sale selling for $439, up 19% over the average. We also had a newsstand 9.0 selling for $371, establishing a new record up 10% from the previous high. This marks the first time that Tech 880 makes the Hot 10 list. You guys know all about this book, especially in a 9.8 for around $300 and change. I'd be a buyer. That's not a lot of money if you want to own this fantastic cover. Whoa, back-to-back new books on this list. At number 9 this week is Punisher Limited Series number 1, the first solo series featuring the Punisher. Also, this is an iconic cover by the great Mike Zeck. A bunch of copies sold and a 9.8 this week with a high selling for $598, up 13% over the average. This marks the first time Punisher 1 makes the Hot 10 list. Now, for me, guys, I do not want to spend $600 to own this book in a 9.8. You may want to spend that kind of money, but for me, I just can't do it. I do want to own the book, especially in a raw form around 9.0, 9.2, 9.4, whatever the best price I can to get for this book. Finally, our first major key at number 8 is Marvel Spotlight number 5, the first appearance and origin of the Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze. 5 copies outsold the average this week with a high sale in a CGC 7.0, selling for $1,600, up 16% over the average. Next up, a CGC 6.0 sale for $1,101, up 13% over the average. And lastly, a CGC 4.5 selling for $750, up 6% over the average. Spotlight 5 makes the list for only the second time in 2025. This is a major key, guys. I said it before. Do I want to own this book? Yes, 100%. Just get the best grade you can afford to have in your collection for the long term. This one's a Bronze Age one, so there are a lot of copies out there. After a brief reprieve, at number 7 this week is Green Lantern number 59 and the first appearance of Guy Gardner, Hal Jordan's backup Green Lantern. 5 copies outsold the average this week with a high sale in a CGC 9.2, selling for $1,650, up 5% over the average. Next up, a CGC 9.0 sale for $879, up 4% over the average. And lastly, a CGC 5.0 selling for only $350, but get this, up 38% over the average. Guy Gardner makes the list once again after Superman's stellar performance at the box office for the opening weekend. Now, to me, guys, he was the best part of this movie outside of the crypto. Do I want to own this book? I think for a 5.0 for 300 something bucks, I don't think it's a bad deal. So if you want to own the book and you're a Green Lantern fan, I say go for it. If you're not, I say why buy this book right here. Speaking of fandom, at number 6 this week is Star Wars number 42, the first appearance of Boba Fett. A whopping 10 copies broke the average this week with a high sale in a CGC 9.8, newsstand selling for $1,395, up 24% over the average. Next up, a 9.6 Direct, selling for only $400, up 5% over the average. And lastly, a CGC 9.4, selling for only $279, up 1% over the average. This past month, Marvel announced Boba Fett Black, White, and Red, a limited anthology series to be published in September of 2025. Is that why this book is on this list? I say if you're a big Star Wars fan, this is a must-own book, and I think around a 9.0, 9.2, 9.4, around $250 to $300, I don't think it's a bad deal. But I will say, if you're not a Star Wars fan, then why are you buying the book? For me, I'm not, so I'm staying away. How about another Bronze Age banger? At number 5 this week is Werewolf by Night number 32 and the first appearance and origin of Moon Knight. 6 copies outsold the average this week with a high sale in a CGC 9.4, selling for a crazy $3,795, but up 6% over the average. Next up, a CGC 9.2 sale, selling for $2,550 and up 16% over the average. And finally, a CGC 7.0, selling for $890, flat against the average this week. Another supernatural character that could be included in Marvel's live-action plans with the introduction of Mephisto in the MCU. To me, 100% I want to own this book. I think now is the time. Definitely a lot of copies out there. But remember this, you want to own this book with fabulous purple covers. To me, I'd like to own a signed copy to boot. So yes, if you're a long-term buyer, I'm definitely holding on to this one. Right now, I think it's a decent time to buy. Whoa, sticking to the Bronze Age, at number 4 is Tomb of Dracula number 10, the first appearance of Blade. 7 sales broke the average this week with a high sale in a CGC 8.5, selling for $1,375 and up 6% over the average. Next up, a CGC 7.5 sale for $949, up 10% over that average. And lastly, a CGC 6.0 selling for $670, up 4% over the average. Although the film has been removed from Marvel Studios' official release slate, it has not been officially canceled. Now, to me, do I want to own this book? I think only if I'm going to buy it for the long term, I'd be a buyer. Other than that, I'd probably be staying away. Still a lot of copies out there. I'd rather own Werewolf by Night number 32. Even better, Marvel Spotlight 5 if I'm only looking for one book from the Bronze Age to buy. But to me, I'm going with Giant Size X-Men number 1 if I am buying a Bronze Age book. But Marvel Spotlight 5 is right behind it. So to me, I would say hold off if you're not a long-term holder. But if you are, go ahead and snatch it up. Rounding out the 3 spot this week is What Else? Marvel Superhero Secret Wars number 8 and the origin of the Black Symbiote costume. An insane 11 copies in a CGC 9.8 broke the average this week and a whopping 23 sales overall. The high in that 9.8 sold for $772, but get this, up 60% over the average. You guys know I said it all along, a 9.8 for $500 is my max. Not a penny more for this book. There are a bazillion copies out there, but if you do want to own it, just get yourself a nice raw copy. If you don't want to pay up for that 9.8, just look for those bright pink and orange colors. That is what really matters. Sticking with the MCU and sticking with spec, at number 2 this week is Fantastic Four number 48 and the first appearance of the Silver Surfer. This is also the first cameo appearance of Galactus. 7 sales broke the average this week with the high sale being a CGC 8.0, selling for $3,300 and up 6% over the average. Next up, a CGC 5.5 sale of $1,235, up 4% over the average. And finally, a CGC 4.0 right up my alley, under $1,000, selling for $975 and up 7% over the average. Climbing 3 spots from 5 last week, the Silver Surfer remains a consistent key issue on the Hot 10 Comics Week breakdown. Do I want to own this book? I say it each and every week. Yes, for the long term I do, but I'm waiting for that movie to come out. Let the book go down a little bit if I want to hold for the long term. If you're not an FF fan and you're not a Silver Surfer fan, why go ahead and buy this book right here, right now? And finally, at the top spot, the hottest book on the market, and I am not kidding, for the 21st week in 2025, it's Amazing Spider-Man number 129 and the first appearance of the Punisher, Frank Castle. This is also the first appearance of the Jackal and this great cover by John Romita Sr. and Gil Kane. 9 copies outsold the average this week with a high sale in a CGC 9.6, selling for a whopping $6,753, up 11% over the average. Next up, a CGC 8.0 sale for $3,195, up 26% over the average. That was the big one this week. And lastly, a CGC 7.5 selling for $1,899, but still up 31% over the average. I'm going to tell you guys this, I'm a long-term buyer of this book. I'm a long-term holder of this book. And in my lifetime, I probably owned about 20 copies. Right now, I'm down to 1, and it's not going anywhere. And with that said, I'm seeing these crazy jumps at percentages. Do I want to own the book? Yeah, but keep in mind, make sure you're checking GPA. Make sure you're checking Go Collect last sales, 90-day average. That's what you should be paying for this book. Hope you guys enjoyed another week, another list. Some new books finally we're seeing. Bronze Age kicking up, especially those supernatural characters. finally hitting the list. With that said, what is my best buy of the week? To me, this is an easy one. I'm going with Marvel Spotlight number 5 and the first appearance of the Ghost Rider. Behind Giant Size X-Men 1, I've said it, this is my second go-to book from the Bronze Age. Not a lot of copies as compared to the other ones on the census, especially in high grade. Hope you guys enjoyed the list. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles saying thank you for watching, happy collecting, and I will talk to you guys soon.